this is funny because now I got a notification for Netflix, which is very creepy because if I'm talking about Netflix at the moment and then I get a notification. But let's move on. We live in an era where technology is so important to us, especially now with the pandemic. And we're lucky to be able to enjoy all these digital tools that are so handy for us right now. So today we're going to talk about my favorite apps in order to start a language, improve, and overall learn. I gathered a few here, so what I'm going to do is to show them here as well, and let's talk about how they work, how you can use them, how I use them, etc. The first one I want to mention is films. For example, Netflix, Prime, even YouTube. Choose a film that you love. That's the first thing. Choose a film that you love, but also choose a film that you know by heart. I mean, that's very difficult, but choose a film that you've seen so many times that you know the story, you know some parts, some quotes. So when you're watching it in your target language, you know exactly what's going to happen. This is funny because now I got a notification for Netflix, which is very creepy because if I'm talking about Netflix at the moment and then I get a notification. But let's move on. Pick a film that you like. Watch it in your target language with subtitles if you want to, but I would always recommend something that you know very well so you can relate what they're saying with what you know in your mother tongue or your first language. The second one I want to talk about is Duolingo. Many of you are aware or you know about this app. Duolingo is basically a game, we could call it a game, where you have to, you start with the basics and to track, and then you start, for example, with the introduction, and in this case, for example, you have to tap the matching pairs. So you just go from English to Spanish in this case and match the words. Okay. You can also have the option of sliding the words and create a sentence, complete the gaps. It's basically a game because, as you can see there at the top, there was a heart saying it said 5. So every time you make a mistake, you will lose a heart, and then when you run out of hearts, you have to wait, I think it's 24 hours in order to do the same lesson again. To me personally, it is okay. Obviously, it doesn't replace a teacher or a course, but it's okay to, to get in touch with the language for the first time, learn random words, random sentences. I have to say that it's not the best when it comes to conversation, to learn how to talk or how to create complete sentences, but it's not the worst. I mean, if you want to learn a bit of grammar, a bit of vocab, it's okay. Now, the second one I want to mention is one that when I found it, I thought, oh my God, this is so good. It's called, I'll put it here, Lyric Training. Now, this one is, you select the language again, and it's basically karaoke. It's basically this exercise that we used to do in school where you had to fill the gaps while listening to a song, which is fantastic. So let's pick, for example, this one, okay? So you have multiple choice, beginner, intermediate, we're going to pick beginner, and then the song starts, okay? And all you have to do is to see that circle. So once they say the line, you have to pick the correct word between the 4 options that you have below. I think this is fantastic because obviously you can do that on YouTube or on Spotify. You pick the song on Spotify and then you find the lyrics on Google. I mean, you can do that, but the fact that this is telling you exactly where the words are and how to follow it. I mean, I think this is brilliant. I wish I had that when I was learning English in the past. So you have that multiple choice, and you also have the typical karaoke. So if you like to sing, this is a very good option. I've been browsing around, and I think this is a very interesting app that I strongly recommend. I mean, learning through songs is probably, that's how I learned actually. Like when I started listening to songs, I would listen to Beyonce, Madonna, Michael Jackson, Bruno Mars. Those were the songs I started listening in English. And because when I was younger, my English wasn't very good. So I would listen to the song while I was reading the lyrics on YouTube, on Google. So that's how you learn, how do you associate what you hear with what you learn. Then the next one, I've recommended this one before. This is called Quizlet. Quizlet is an app where you can have an account and create your own flashcards. So it's good if you're studying a course, for example, or a subject, you create your own flashcards and then you can learn, okay, from your own flashcards. Or you can learn from other people's flashcards. In my case, for example, I have body parts, okay? So this is something I created for my students. So you have the flashcards and then you just have to click and they flip over and you see the word in the other language, in your target language. You can learn them. It's just a multiple choice exercise, as you can see there. You can write the word, so nose, nariz, mouth, boca, so you write it in your target language. You can play a matching game where you just have to match the pairs. That's also very good. You can also test yourself. This is, as you can see there, it's very similar. So if you test yourself, you have multiple choice, you have writing, you have true or false. I mean, you have to create an account, but I do this for my students. I really recommend this one. I would be careful if you don't have a teacher who is creating these flashcards, because normally these flashcards would be more focused on what a teacher has taught before. I mean, you can find anything there. You can find any topic, but sometimes you will find a topic with words that you might not have learned yet. So what I would advise is use it if your teacher has mentioned it, or you think that you have, or you can browse around the words and say if you think that it's your level, go for it, because this is brilliant. Let's talk about this one. This one is called Quizlet. I've mentioned this one. Oh, Quizlet. Kahoot. I've mentioned this one as well. This is the same as Quizlet. Probably more focused on children because it's more colorful. It looks less formal, but it's exactly the same. So you have, for example, in my case, I have an account where I created my flashcards or my text for the kids, and this one, for example, the weather. So you have the same situations. You can study the flashcards, you can practice. It works the same way, but as you can see, it's more colorful, it's more fun, it's less formal. Yeah, I don't really use this one much, but it's not too bad. And the last one is called Falu. This one is more focused on conversation, on everyday topics, on how to talk in an everyday situation. It's, to me, you can learn from scratch. You can learn a language from scratch, but this is more complete. So, for example, in my case, I'm brushing up on my French, so I couldn't select the option of Spanish, so we're going to see it on French, okay? So let's go, for example, the essentials, and let's go, for example, on introducing yourself, okay? So you're walking in a park in Paris and you smiley French girl starts talking to you. So they say bonjour, and you have to, or hello, and you have to press that microphone icon, and then you have to talk. So you have to pronounce it. And then she answers, and then, or she asks again, you answer again, always clicking that icon. I think this is fantastic. You can also pick other options, for example, writing, so you can also write, well, in this case, is select the word. You can select the word. So the more advanced you are in the course, the more words you'll find. So they will be jumbled, so you have to put them in order. Okay. Falu is a very complete app. I think it has everything. It has a bit of speaking, writing. Also, it's so specific that you have to say the words exactly as they sound, and you get points as well. So that is very, very handy, and I would recommend you to download it and practice every day. Yeah, these are my favorite apps. Of course, it's impossible to use all of them. You have to take into account your learning goal, if you're learning just for fun, if you just want to, get in touch with the language, your level. For example, if your level is higher, maybe you would consider others that are more advanced. But of course, all of them are there. All of them are free. And let me know if you've ever used any of them, what your experiences are with them. And I'll see you in the next one. Adios.